For those of you who will be tuning in, thank you so much. We will get started in just a moment. Trying to ensure that we're not having any technical difficulties over here. Tried to start just a few seconds ago, but the server went down. So that's not a good thing. But hopefully we will be starting soon. So while you are waiting, you can go ahead and share this talk. You know this is going to be something serious. We're going to be talking about discipline this evening. And so if you know someone who might be struggling with discipline, who might need to hear a little bit about discipline or receive some tips or advice on how to be better self-disciplined, then definitely invite them in. I am trying to log on also from my phone so I can see you all with your comments, so I can be able to respond to them. So let's see, I think I'm in here. All right. And also we're testing it out. We're doing a different time today. Something that I have not done before. And that even tested my discipline on today. So we're going to talk about all of these things in just a moment. So let's see if we can go ahead and get started. Let's see if we can go ahead and get started. Once again, I do want to give a shout out to all of you who are watching for the replay. The replay fam, listen, you guys are pretty awesome. And thank you for the messages that you send. I am trying to do much better with checking my messages. I do want to say that I'm trying to do much better with checking my messages. So, all right, let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling with this. So, all right, so I don't know what's happening. I still can't see the comments, but I'll go back in and check this a little bit later. So good evening, everyone. And if you are all the way across the world in different countries, it might be your morning or your afternoon. I do want to say good morning, good afternoon. Thank you so much for tuning into today's Let's Talk session with Dr. Charity TV. My name is Dr. Charity C. Campbell, and I will be your motivational speaker, your sister, your best friend, your inspirer, whatever you need it to be, your motivator, to help you become better disciplined. And we're going to be talking about this thing because discipline can be a curse word for some. Many people do not like to hear about discipline. And then there are other people who they have no problem with being disciplined or self-disciplined. So we are just going to see which category you fall into as we go on and we talk throughout this evening over the next couple of minutes. Also, once again, if you find any valuable content, I definitely would appreciate if you would write down some notes. Don't just rely all on your mind to keep everything that you get this evening. Write down notes so that you can go back and take a look at it later and read it whenever it's necessary, whenever you feel like you might need it. So again, we are talking about discipline. Woo! Discipline, honey. And so, you know, some people are not that fond. Let's use that word. Some people are not that fond of the word discipline because it tends to have like a negative connotation to it, right? Sometimes discipline is where you may not get to have what you want to have at the time you want to have it. You have to practice restrictions or restraint. But discipline actually, it goes deeper than that. Discipline goes much, much deeper than that. And also at the same time, discipline isn't something that is hard. Like discipline can be learned. Discipline can be learned. How do I know? I speak to you from personal experience, from firsthand experience. So the first thing I want to let you know is that discipline determines the quality of your life. Whew, honey, I cannot say this enough. Discipline determines the quality of your life. Like what happens in your life. What happens in your life, the goals you reach, the dreams you see realized, all of these things, the things that happen in your life, they are determined by your discipline. Okay, so if you're writing notes, this is definitely one of the first things that I would say to take note of. Discipline determines your quality of life. And we're not just talking about discipline in terms of health and wellness, because we're going to talk about that, of course. But we're not just talking about discipline in terms of health and wellness, but we're also talking about financial discipline. Whew, stepping on my own toes because I really love to shop. Okay, that's therapy. Retail therapy, it's a real thing, people. But financial discipline. What about relational discipline? Right? Being disciplined in your relationships and how you build them, and being disciplined in your education. So we have so many different areas of our life. Professional discipline. Okay. When we're talking about our career, our jobs, different things like that, discipline literally impacts your entire life. It impacts your entire life. So that's something that if you were not aware of, now you are aware of, okay? How you practice discipline in your life definitely affects the people that are attracted to you. And when I'm talking about attracted, I mean like opportunities. If you are disciplined on a certain level when it comes to your education, like that follows you throughout your educational career, and you will begin to build a reputation of being responsible, accountable, someone that people can depend on, also, wise, smart, some like the go-to person, and opportunities will be attracted to you. They will come to you, like doors will begin to open for you based on your discipline. So again, discipline does impact every single area of your life. This quote, I was, when I was writing a little bit earlier, this is something that came to me. I'm going to slide over here to the comments because I have it working now. Marlon Kreff says, yes. I see Mariama. Oh, hey, LaShawn. And I see Bidi Luque Perez. All right. Thanks, Beatty, for joining in. Thanks, LaShawn, for joining in. And thank you, Marlon Kraft, for joining in. Please don't forget to heart it up, like it, share, and also take notes, because this is going to be life-changing for someone if not for you yourself. All right. So this quote. So as I was, just thinking about discipline in my own life, this was the quote that kind of came to my mind. Persistence determines how badly you want to accomplish a goal. When we really want to accomplish a goal, we are persistent, right? We're motivated because we think about the end result, and it's like, okay, I got to get this done. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Like you're just the thought of actually reaching your desired results is motivation enough for you. And it makes you be persistent. Like you want to reach your goal. However, consistency shows how badly you need to accomplish that goal. Okay, I'm going to read that again and then I'm going to explain. Persistence determines how badly you want to accomplish a goal. Consistency shows how badly you need to accomplish it. Okay. So what I mean by that is when you are persistent, it shows your desire, right? When you think about, going after your goal, you're like, hey, I'm going to get this. I'm going to go until, I reach it. I'm going to accomplish XYZ by, this deadline, this date. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And you're motivated. So you're persistent. Or if it's, you're interested in you're dating and you're interested in someone, and someone is very persistent, like they're contacting you, they're calling you, they're checking up, or you're going on dates, like, different things like that. Persistence. It's that continual action. However, consistency is a totally different ball game, because consistency happens whether you feel like you should do something or not. Okay? Consistency determines it. It shows how badly you need to have that goal accomplished. So persistence shows how bad you really want it. It's, I want this, so I'm going to go after it. But consistency, that's the thing that still lingers long after the desire is gone, long after the want is gone. Like, honey, I don't feel like working out every single day. I really don't. I really don't feel like working out every single day. But as someone who has lost 140 pounds now, 140 pounds now over the span of like 2.5 years, and consistently, even when I took my little break from November of last year to February of this year, even when I took my little break, like, it was that battle saying, okay, like I had sporadic workouts because I didn't work out all the time during that time. But it was like, what do you want to accomplish? Well, obviously I want to reach my goal weight, and obviously I want to be healthy, but you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. So obviously you're not being persistent because the desire is gone. Consistency comes long after that desire is gone. Consistency says, I don't feel like working out today. I don't feel like running. I don't feel like doing strength training. I don't feel like doing these things at all. However, I need to. I need to reach these goals. Because it affects my quality of life. It affects my health. It affects my travel. It affects the opportunities that come to me. So that consistency, that's why I put that up there, because it's so true. Persistence determines how badly you want to accomplish a goal. But consistency is that thing that shows how badly you need to accomplish it. When you need to get something done, when you need to get something done, whether you feel like doing it or not, you're still going to do it. Whether you feel like it or not, it's going to be done. And it brings me to one of my favorite quotes that I have that I'm going to share with you in just a moment. But that's just something that you have to keep in mind. Like, persistence is it shows what you want. You want it, so you're going to go after it. But consistency, long after you don't want it anymore, you're still doing it because you know you need to have that goal accomplished. Okay. So the next thing is discipline. Well, I did say that discipline affects every area of your life. Okay. I believe I said that one before, or I looked at the wrong one. My bad. No, that's right. I got so many of these things over here, y'all. Okay, so discipline affects every area of your life, which I actually just mentioned a few moments ago when I was talking about consistency. I'm so serious. Like, even if you feel like, ugh, I just can't save another $50 this month, like, because I really want to spend it on this, or I really want to spend it on that. Okay, you're going to be broke. Let me say, you're going to be broke. Okay, you ain't gonna have no money. If you're not going to save, if you're not going to actively, save even when you don't feel like it, when you feel like shopping, when you feel like just shopping because it's just so therapeutic and it really, really helps you manage your stress, find another way. Find another way, okay? Because you're going to be broke. You ain't going to have no money, okay? So you need to be disciplined because it really does impact every single area of your life. Like I mentioned before, it can impact your professional life. It can impact your relational life, your finances, definitely your physical, like your health, your wellness. So those are things just that you want to keep in mind. All right, you want to keep those things in mind. Now, here's some quotes that two of them I've read and incorporated into my affirmations that I used to have back in 2016 to 2018. So the first one says, discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. Okay, let's read that again. Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. I'm coming back to that in just a moment. To all of my fellow health enthusiasts, okay, those of us we're really trying to make sure that we get our health together, our physical and psychological health together. Let me tell you, okay, there are times when maybe you might want to go ahead and, if you're an emotional eater, maybe you might want to go ahead and eat a whole box of ice cream. Yes, bucket, box, whatever, a whole 22 piece of Bojangles chicken supremes. I don't know, whatever. I haven't done that, but it's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible for me to do. I'm pretty sure that I probably could get close to 18 instead of 22. But if you're an emotional eater, right? And you just, whether it's just too much stress you have going on and you feel like, you know what, I'm about to go eat this, or I'm about to go do this or do that or do that. Listen, you got to pause, breathe. Okay, pause and breathe and then consider, okay, is this even worth me messing up? Is this something that, is this something that I need in my life right now? Is this something that I need to do? If not, okay, let's find another alternative, something that's going to be more positive and not weigh on me physically and psychologically later. So you just got to think about that. Discipline is determining if what I want now is what I actually need the most. Okay, let's see. Let's take a look over here to the screen and say hey to Ashley Jones, who just joined in. If any of you have just joined in, definitely pop on, say hey so I can speak back to you. We are experimenting with a different time this week. So just wanted to say hey to everyone who is popping on. I do have your comments up on the screen so I can, up on my phone so I can see. All right, so the next quote that we want to take a look at is, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. Whew. Let's read that one again. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. Listen, honey, you can have goals for days, but if you don't have discipline, you will never accomplish those goals. Okay? We can have so many goals. We can have goals for days. I'm telling you, we can have big dreams, ideas, goals. We have all of these things. But if you don't have discipline, there's no way to go from point A to point Z. You can't just pray that you reach your goal, honey. You have to, faith without works is dead. You got to put some action behind that thing. And it does take discipline to be active. Okay. Action requires discipline. Discipline requires some form of action. So keep that in mind, that discipline is that bridge. It's the connector. It's the thing that helps you to go from goals, just writing it down, making it plain, having an idea, and then here, the results. Like, how do I get from here to here? Discipline. Okay, so discipline is that bridge. All right, next. This is one of my favorites. This is one of the ones that I added into my affirmations a few years ago. It says, you will never always be motivated, so you must learn to be disciplined. And what I did when I added into my affirmations, I just basically said, I'm never always motivated. So instead, I've learned to be disciplined. And these are, like I said, that's just something that I have been saying for years. I have made sure that I have been active in being disciplined. Because you, again, like that bridge, talking about that connector, you cannot go from goal to results without having some form of discipline, some form of activity, some bridge, some connector that happens. Okay. All right. Next, here are 3 questions that I want you to ask yourself, and you can write these down. Okay. Here are 3 questions that I want you to ask yourself when you are tempted to not be disciplined. Okay. So let me say that again. When you are tempted to not be disciplined, okay, here are 3 questions that you can ask yourself. The first question is, can I afford to not do XYZ in the future? Meaning, if I skip this today, will I pay for it later? Okay. Can I afford to not exercise today? Can I afford to, not eat healthy today? Can I afford to not save today? Can I afford to, skip this or skip that? What would happen to me later if I give in to what I want to do now? Okay, that's something that you really have to think about. What would happen to me later? What results will I have later? How will I feel later if I choose the opposite of what I really feel like doing, or what I really want to do or need to do? Case in point. Okay, case in point. this morning. It's beautiful Monday. Did not feel like working out whatsoever. In my mind, there is this entire discourse, this entire battle going on. Hey, let's just rest all day today. But we just had a rest day on Saturday. But we worked out yesterday really, really well. We got that good sweat. Going back and forth, back and forth. And finally, before you know it, I'm getting out my gym clothes, putting them on, getting dressed, still in my mind saying, we can just relax today. Like, your body needs it. You need to just relax and chill. And the first question I asked myself was, if I don't exercise today, can my results afford me to not exercise today? Like, in the future, will I feel like I'm paying for it later? Can I afford to take another day off? Now, I'm not saying, if my body is being pushed so much that I won't rest. Trust me, I know how to do that. I will shut everything down. But if I'm just being lazy, or if I just want to waste time in my thoughts, laying around daydreaming, doing whatever, when I'm supposed to be working, can I really afford that? Like, can my me in the future afford my me today's laziness? No. So that's the first question you should ask yourself. Can I afford to not do XYZ in the future? The second question is how I'm feeling connected to my desired results. Ooh. Let me read that one again. Especially for those of you who are watching the replay and for those of you who are listening to the podcast. Honey, here we go. Is how I'm feeling connected to my desired results? If not, what needs attention? I can only speak from experience, okay? So I'm going to continue to use me as an example. How I was feeling. I didn't feel like working out. Not feeling like working out. Is it connected to my desired results? Is it going to be that bridge that helps me to go from goals to results? Not at all. It's actually going to have an adverse reaction. It's going to have the absolute opposite thing that happened, because those feelings turn into habits. Okay, you start feeling lazy, you're going to become lazy. You start feeling strong, you're going to become strong, because you're going to do the actions, the activities that require you to build habits for becoming stronger, which usually entails working out or and watching what you eat and all of those things like that. So that's the question you should ask yourself. Like, how I feeling? If I feel the way that I feel right now, okay, is it connected to my desired results? And if not, like, what needs attention? How can I change that? How can I improve? How can I make myself better or feel better so that it will align with my desired results? And then the third question you should definitely ask yourself is, in 30, 60, 90 days from now, how will I feel or how will I be if I don't change? Let's read that again, because most people want you to focus on what happens if you do change. Think about this. Ask yourself, in 30, 60, 90 days from now, how will I feel if I don't change? Like, if I don't become consistent, if I don't discipline myself, if I don't start working towards my goal, how will I feel in a month? How will I feel 2 months from now? How will I feel 3 months from now? Like, how will I look? What will my bank account look like? What will my associations look like? What will my dating life look like? What will my education look like? Like, if I know that I'm supposed to be working on my dissertation, if I know I'm supposed to be working on a project, if I know, if I'm not disciplined enough and I decide that I want to wait until the last minute, Procrastinators Anonymous, hello. Woo, honey. What is my life going to look like, and how am I going to feel? So if I give into the temptation of not moving forward or not being consistent, not being disciplined enough, what am I going to look like? How am I going to feel? What is my life going to look like? Those are 3 questions that I want you to ask yourself again. So I'm going to put them up on the screen again so you can see them one more time. Can I afford to not do XYZ in the future? Is how I'm feeling connected to my desired results? If not, what needs attention? What do I need to change? Okay, so that my feelings do align with my desired results. And then in 30, 60, 90 days from now, how will I feel or be if I don't change? And if you're okay with how you will feel or how you'll be if you don't change, then okay, that's on you. Now, here is the quote that I was telling you that I always say to myself. I started saying this to myself back in 2014 when I did my 100-day juice and smoothie fast. It was not easy. Oh my God, it was not easy. It was actually one of the hardest things that I've ever done in my life. It was a 100-day juice and smoothie fast, and there were so many days when I wanted to quit. Okay. So many days when I wanted to quit and just like go eat something, eat anything. But I remember saying for the first time ever, I'm like, okay, well, Charity, if you break your fast, right? If you break your fasting and you mess up right now, it could create a habit of not completing, not finishing something. And it also, not only the fact does it break your fast, but I mean, you're going to start developing these other symptoms that you're going to want to continue to keep eating. You're going to want to, and then before you know it, your 100 days are going to be over. So here, whether you do continue with the 100 days fast or don't continue with the 100 days fast, time is going to pass by and day 100 will be here before you know it. And when day 100 gets here, hopefully, you'll be at your goal. Because if not, then what you gonna do? You gonna do another 100 days all over again when you couldn't even finish the first one? So whether you do what you're supposed to do or whether you don't do it, that time is going to pass regardless. And you want to make sure that you move with time. The worst thing is for you to be standing still or not doing what you're supposed to be doing and time just pass you by. You don't want that to happen. Okay, so here's my challenge for you. Okay? I want you to choose one thing you've been struggling with in the area of self-discipline. Just one, okay? Just one thing. Not 12, not 7, not 5, not 3, just one thing, okay? I want you to choose one thing you've been struggling with in the area of discipline. For 7 days, not even 21. You see that? Not even, right? For 7 days, not even 21. I just want you to be consistent and intentional about meeting your desired short-term goal. Again, we're only talking about one thing, not putting so much pressure on you, not putting extra stress on you, none of that. Just one thing. Choose one thing, one short-term goal that you can focus on for the next 7 days, not even 21 days, not 3 weeks, just 7 days from this Monday, or actually from tomorrow, Tuesday, to next Tuesday, right? I want you to be consistent and intentional about meeting your desired short-term goal. And then I want you to share your results with me on Instagram or Facebook, right here on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn. And I want you to tag me at DrCharityTV. Or if you don't want people all up in your business, then you can DM me so that I can share in your excitement and celebrate you as you overcome that one thing that you've been struggling with. Once again, I'm going to go back to it. I want you to choose only one thing, fam, that you've been struggling with in the area of discipline. And for 7 days, I want you to be consistent and intentional about meeting your desired short-term goal. All right, ladies and gents, thank you so much for tuning into tonight's talk where we were talking about discipline. It's not an easy thing, but it is absolutely necessary. It can be learned. It is a skill that can be learned. It just takes practice, and that practice has to be repetitive. I mean, literally repeating the same thing over and over and over again until it becomes a part of your nature. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in to our Let's Talk series, and I'll see you guys next Monday. Bye. Let's see. I'm going to go over here and say thank you so much for those who are tuning in. I'm looking at you over here. I see you in the comment section. I see you in the comment section. I hope all of you have a wonderful evening. Once again, this was Let's Talk Discipline with Dr. Charity C. Campbell. See you guys next week.